Salesforce just announced they're hiring 0 software engineers this year. Not because business is slow, because AI is doing the work. A Stanford study found that employment for young software developers, people aged 22 to 25, has already fallen nearly 20% since late 2022. That's not a projection. That already happened. And it's not just coders. A Cornell University study found that demand for writing and translation work on freelance platforms dropped between 20 and 50% after ChatGPT launched. Content writers, copywriters, translators, gone or going. Goldman Sachs says AI will eliminate 11 million jobs in the United States alone. The IMF says 40% of all jobs globally are exposed to some degree of AI disruption. And here's the part nobody is talking about loudly enough. It's already happening right now. So in the next 10 minutes, we're going to go through the 5 specific AI tools that are actively replacing real jobs right now in 2026. For each one, I'll tell you exactly which roles are at risk, why it's happening, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Because here's the thing, these tools are dangerous if you ignore them, but they are powerful leverage if you get in front of them. Let's get into it. ChatGPT and Claude are large language models. You've probably used them, but most people still don't understand the scale of what they can do. They can write a 2,000-word blog post in 30 seconds, draft a customer support email, summarize a legal document, build a marketing strategy, translate into 50 languages, write product descriptions by the thousands. Which jobs are threatened? Content writers, copywriters, social media managers, customer support agents, email marketers, translators, technical writers, junior marketing roles of almost every kind. McKinsey estimates demand for clerk and administrative support roles will shrink by over 1.6 million positions. The SSRN projects content writing jobs could fall from 380,000 to 190,000 by 2030, a 50% cut. One worker in the UK described it this way. She worked in marketing content, writing blogs and campaign copy. 8 months in, she overheard her supervisor say to the team, "Just put it in ChatGPT." Within weeks, she was proofreading AI output instead of writing. A few months later, her role was eliminated. What you can do. If you're a writer, stop competing with AI on volume. You'll lose. Instead, use these tools to produce more, faster, and charge for the strategy and judgment behind the words, not the words themselves. The people winning right now are content strategists who use ChatGPT to output 10x the work they used to and sell that output at a premium. Learn to direct AI, not compete with it. 11 Labs can clone a human voice from as little as a 1-minute audio sample. Then it can read anything in that voice forever. No booking fees, no scheduling, no union rates. I want you to sit with that for a second.
You are literally listening to an AI voice right now. And if this is the first time you've noticed, that's the point. The quality is there. Which jobs are threatened? Voice actors, audiobook narrators, corporate narrators, e-learning voiceover artists, podcast hosts in entertainment and informational formats, dubbing artists for video localization. The UK-based Trade Union for Voice Actors has already raised alarms. Studios are using AI voices to dub content into dozens of languages without hiring a single human voice actor. Companies are creating synthetic spokesperson voices and using them across entire content libraries. One voiceover artist who had worked in commercials for 11 years described watching her bookings drop from 15 commissions a month to 5 in under a year. Her clients weren't going to competitors. They were going to AI. What you can do? If you're in audio, your moat is personality and connection, not a clean voice. Audiences follow creators they feel they know. Lean into that. The real opportunity? Use 11 Labs yourself. You can now run a full voiceover business, podcast production service, or YouTube channel without ever recording yourself. The barrier to audio content creation just collapsed. Be the one who runs through that door. Midjourney can produce a professional-grade image in about 30 seconds. From a text prompt. No camera, no Photoshop, no design degree. The stock photo industry is already in freefall. Shutterstock and Getty, companies that built billion-dollar businesses selling photos, are now selling AI-generated image subscriptions. They're essentially licensing the tools that replace the photographers who built their libraries. A storyboard artist in Southeast Asia described watching her studio switch to Midjourney almost overnight. Colleagues lost their jobs, her own salary was cut. She said companies were taking her art, feeding it into AI, and generating versions of it without paying her a cent. Which jobs are threatened? Stock photographers? Illustrators? Junior graphic designers? Social media graphic creators? Ad creative teams doing volume work? Storyboard artists? Logo designers at the lower end of the market? What you can do? Design is not dead, but commodity design is. If your value proposition was, I can make a nice-looking image, that's now table stakes. AI can do that for $3. Your edge is brand strategy, conceptual thinking, and creative direction. Learn to prompt these tools with precision. Offer AI-assisted design services and undercut traditional production timelines by 80%. Or move up market into brand identity work, where judgment and taste still matter. GitHub Copilot now has 15 million users. 90% of Fortune 100 companies use it. Developers using it write code 55% faster, according to GitHub's own research. Here's what that means in practice. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff announced in 2025 that the company would hire 0 software engineers that year. Not 0 senior engineers, 0 engineers, because AI tools made their existing team productive enough to cover the gap. A Stanford digital economy study found employment for software developers aged 22 to 25 fell nearly 20% from its 2022 peak by mid-2025, while experienced developers aged 35 to 49 saw employment rise by 9% over the same period. This is targeted replacement. AI is not coming for senior engineers who make architecture decisions and think about systems. It is coming for the routine, boilerplate work that junior developers used to learn on. What you can do? If you're a developer, or want to become one, use these tools from day one. Copilot and Cursor are not threats to a developer who uses them. They are threats to a developer who refuses to.
The developers who are winning right now are the ones who treat AI as their junior. They review its output, catch its mistakes, and focus their energy on architecture, security, and product thinking, things AI still gets wrong. If you're job hunting in tech, every job posting in 2026 that asks for strong Copilot proficiency is an open door. Walk through it. Synthesia and Hygen can generate a professional quality talking head video from a script. No camera, no lighting, no editor, no on-camera presenter. You type the script, pick an avatar, pick a voice, and you have a finished video in minutes. Enterprise companies are using this right now to replace their entire internal video production workflows. A company that used to spend $5,000 and 2 weeks producing a corporate training video can now do it in an afternoon for $50. That math does not favor the video production team. Which jobs are threatened? Corporate video production teams, internal communications video editors, e-learning video creators, explainer video studios, presenters, and on-camera talent for training content, corporate trainers who deliver repetitive standardized content. One Reddit thread from early 2026 showed a videographer who was offered a job to train the AI that would replace videographers. That's where we are. What you can do? Repetitive templated video is gone. Move toward high-stakes creative work, product launches, brand storytelling, event coverage, anything where authenticity and production values actually matter. Or flip it. Learn Hygen or Synthesia and offer AI video production services to businesses that haven't figured it out yet. Thousands of companies still have no idea these tools exist. You could be the one who charges them to implement it. Okay, let's reframe this. Every tool we just talked about is also a business in a box for the person willing to learn it. Think about it. 11 Labs collapsed the cost of audio content. Midjourney collapsed the cost of visual content. Synthesia collapsed the cost of video content. ChatGPT collapsed the cost of written content. The people who are terrified right now are the ones waiting to see what happens. The people who are thriving right now started learning these tools before everyone else did. Goldman Sachs data shows that AI-related job postings now make up 24% of all IT openings. The demand for people who can build with, manage, and deploy AI tools is exploding. The WEF's Future of Jobs report projects that yes, 92 million roles will be displaced, but 170 million new roles will emerge. The net is positive, but only if you're on the right side of the shift. The question is not whether AI changes your industry. It will. The question is whether you're the one using it or the one being replaced by someone who is. Every week on this channel, we break down exactly which AI tools are moving markets, replacing jobs, and creating opportunities, and exactly how to use them. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of this. Not catch up to it, stay ahead. We're also putting together a free resource, a toolkit of the highest leverage AI tools you can start using today, with a breakdown of which ones are worth your time and which ones are hype. Watch for that in the next video. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now. Which of these 5 tools worries you the most? No wrong answers. This is information, not doom. The goal is to know what's coming. See you next week.